Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to 75 South Garden. What you're looking at right here are all of my transplants that I'll be using for my fall garden. Now, most of you have already seen these in the video that I made on which fall and winter crops to grow right now. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is showing you a simple method that I use to thin seedlings. I'm going to give you a closer view and let you see how much they've grown. Now, over here in the back, these are the ones that I planted in the video, but the lettuce seedlings are not thick enough around the stem for me to be comfortable enough to thin them right now. So I'm going to let those grow a little bit. But as you can see, mostly everything here is ready to be transplanted into the garden. So what I'm going to do today is thin out the collard greens because they're getting too big, and the smaller ones in here aren't getting enough light. So I'm going to thin these out and put them in solo cups. Now they've been out here for the last 3 days hardening off, and they're pretty much ready to go into the ground. So this method is pretty much dummy proof. So what I'm going to be doing is simply getting this out of here like this, and gently pulling it apart, and this is what we have. 3 seedlings. Now all you have to do is just let it soak in water. So I'm going to leave that there for about 20 minutes until it's nice and soggy, and then I'll work them apart and transplant them into the solo cups. And in about a week, I'll take them into the garden and plant them in my raised beds. But right now, they're not prepped, so I won't be transplanting anything until I finish my garden prep. It's been about 20 minutes. These should be soaked good enough to pull apart without any problem. All you have to do is simply wiggle it like this. You can do it down in the water. You don't have to snatch them, just wiggle it. It should come apart just like that. Same thing here. Shake it in the water. Pull it apart like that. Didn't damage any roots, and these are now ready to transplant into the cups. As for this one, what I'll do is just shake that compost off until it's just big enough to fit into the solo cup. Just like that. And from here, I'll fill those up and water them. And once I water them, I'll go ahead and fertilize them with this fish fertilizer, half strength, and they should be just fine. Alright, y'all, I got the first 3 done, and they are ready to be watered in with the fish fertilizer. Now you don't have to wait until your stalks are this thick. They could be as thin as the one on this leaf right here. Now if you take a look at my lettuce, they're not thick enough to be pulling apart. I'll probably break every single one if I use that method. Now another thing is, you don't want to remove all of your soil or compost, seed starting mix, whatever you're using. You don't want to remove all of it, because you could shock your plant and all your hard work goes down the drain. Now I use this same method for every one of these cabbage plants, and all of them are alive. I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of the collards over here. But what I'm going to use is this large container here instead of the... Alright y'all, so it's been about 5 days since I thinned these collards. Today is the 14th and all 21 collards are still alive and they're all healthy. Now all I have to do is transplant everything you see here into the garden. So what I'll be doing today is simply getting all of my beds prepped for my fall and winter garden, and I'll try to get that video done by next week, and I'll upload it for you guys to see how I prep my garden for the fall and winter. And that's pretty much it. Always remember to plan your garden with your health in mind.